Is it best to take the lows in Tekken 8? Cause man, when I tell you my legs begin to abuse in this game, I don't know what to do sometimes. Now, I come from a game of Street Fighter where normally when you block low, you protecting the lows and the mids and just gotta react to the overheads. But in Tekken 8, it's common to block high because you're blocking the highs and the mids, but you gotta react to the lows. So it's vice versa. So you know how I feel about this? Hey, yo, da. Let's get it. All right, so bada bing, bada boom. Like, say this is an actual match, right? You're moving back and forth, you're poking with the mids, you're poking with the jabs, moving back and forth, and then all of a sudden they just start poking at your legs, right? Now, in Steve's case, he got some pretty good lows. He got a low that can knock down on counter hits, so on and so on. But is it really a concern to worry about these? Because I feel like the moment you go to try and set your mind on looking for the low, this will happen. You'll get hit with a launcher, right? So of course when you get hit with a launcher, it's time to really die. Boom, 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 you know what I'm saying? Heat activation, boom, and then so on and so on, right? Of course, some characters have lows that are pretty good for just poking and basically resetting, because some lows can be safe on block but not actually hit advantage for them. Now you have other characters like Brian, Dragunov maybe, Asusina, I apologize if I said her name wrong. You have characters with lows that can actually start a full combo. Devil Jin, you know, the Mishimas, all that. In most situations, this is a real serious question. Should we take the lows, or is the low actually a threat, or is it actually dependent on which character you have to fight or who you actually going against? So as always, with this being said, I like to take the common courtesy. I don't mind getting active with the community, so I went to Twitter and I posted, in Tekken, is it best to take the low unless you're going against certain characters like Mishimas? And I received quite a lot of feedback and I truly do appreciate it. So a spotter, he came out and he said lows in Tekken are treated as chip damage. You block and punish them on a read when they do it in an obvious spot. So basically, with that being said, you shouldn't really be concerned about the lows unless you're going against a character that has a very threatful load. But other than that, I'm assuming you just take the little chip damage and then just reset neutral, because it looked like most common lows in this game, they tend to do about, that's 14 damage. Not bad for a quick poke. Then of course, if you have a string like Steve with down 2-1, that low start is 13 damage. So it basically is a poke. You get hit by it, then boom. Not too detrimental, right? And then of course, as tweets went on, somebody posted about, what about hell sweeps that go into combos? A spotter said hell sweeps are unreactable, so they fall into the same category. That's why they are super good if you have one. If you have to learn what people hell sweep at and make a read, but more than likely you'll just take the hell sweep rather than full launch. Hell sweep, right? That's basically, that's something similar to Brian Fury, right? I know I'm making this video and I know I'm the content creator, but you know, I'm coming from Street Fighter, and Tekken is like my secondary game. So some terms, some knowledge I'm not too familiar with, but I think he's actually talking about a low that is basically slow, but because it's so slow, it can lead into a full combo damage. So I think this is a hell sweep, right? So of course, if I was a Brian player, I'll show you the combo, but I think it's something like that and so on and so on, like you know, something simple like that. So this is what you call a dangerous low. If you get hit by that low, you deserve to lose about, I guess you want to say about 1/3, 1/4 of your ball, depending on how deadly the combo is, right? Inconsiderate Raccoon, he said, yeah, you're supposed to take lows in Tekken unless your opponent does them way too much. But isn't that part of conditioning though? Like, what if your opponent do them a lot, you don't block none of them, so now you're in the mindset like, oh, okay, I'm going to be looking for the low now. So now since I'm actually looking for the low, he's probably about to start throwing mids, mid launchers, like playing mind games with me because he didn't abuse the lows. Now I'm getting hit by the mix because I'm expecting the low to still come, right? Right. Phillipson said, yes, it's best to take the low. Also, you can low parry it too. If you could block a low, you could parry a low, right? I think some characters have lows where when you block a low, they don't actually get like staggered and guard stun, like to let you know that this move is about to be punished. Like characters like Leroy, right? He have combo strings where he'll do a low, but it doesn't stop right then and there, right? He actually continues his string after you block the low. So I guess in that situation against a character like him, you would want to parry just to shut down all the offense that he's able to do. All right, Mecha Bearcat. My boy, I've been having the same question, but I think I'm starting to understand taking the low is fine. Depending on the character and if they're doing it too much, because some characters have a low to mid combo, no gaps that launch and get really crazy damage, so I don't know. Exactly. Some characters have very brutal lows, very headache lows. Heard it's the opposite of Street Fighter where you mainly crouch block, and Tekken you mainly block high. Exactly. So that's basically what I was saying in the beginning of the video. In Street Fighter, you do a lot of crouch blocking to cover your lows and the mids, and then you react to the overheads. And most of the time when you're playing Street Fighter, they're mainly poking. Most characters in Street Fighter have slow overheads, which is highly reactable most of the time. Vice versa in Tekken. You're constantly standing most of the time, blocking the highs and the mids, and then you have to react to the lows. So that's where I'm at with this video on, is it needed to block low or just be concerned about the highs and the mids, okay? Because I'm tired of my ankles getting abused, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of my ankles getting bamboozled. It's X amount of ways to do this, and yes, that X was for somebody. All right. Shane Orioles? Lows are generally slower than highs and mids, especially if the low grants them advantage of hit. Hover 18 to 20 frames start up above. More lows mean more points. You can check them at their ranges. As long as it's not a snake edge or low grab, I'll say yeah. But if you can read it and react in time, low parry is a good option too. But if it's just a poke or one hit move, I'll say taking a few lows ain't a big deal. Okay, cool. All right, Mike, he said usually yeah, for the sake of safety, but if you got a hard read on a low, then you may as well try to duck and block it or low parry here and there. Roger that, I got you. All right, homie said I'll say so, and also add Dragunov to the list that you probably don't want to take lows from. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That boy Dragunov is a monster. That boy is annoying. Mother Lover got plus frames with instant while running tools. Strings, that's plus. More plus frames and then dangerous lows. That Mother Lover need to be. No, now, man. I ain't gonna start wishing nerfs on nobody. I'm gonna keep that to myself. He said, yeah, and don't take drags back. 3+4 is +7 on hit and launch punishable. You said, someone explained to me that taking lows in Tekken is kind of like taking a throw in Street Fighter. At least that's what Raccoon Prevails told me. Eat the quick and non-threatening lows, react to the slower lows, and punish hard. You know what? I respect this answer. Because that's basically the lows that I was showing you with Steve, right? Quick, straight to the point. Not really a big deal, right? But if I was to do something that was a little bit more heavy on startup and more reactable, then you basically be concerned about checking those. So overall, you know, I appreciate the responses within this video. Y'all gave me a better sense of mind when it comes down to playing Tekken, and how much I should probably not be too concerned about most lows, right? I should be reacting to the other half of the lows, but the quick taps, if I catch it, I catch it. If I don't, I don't. Big whoop, return to neutral. Let's see what happens with the next hit interaction. So, as always, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Hey, yo, let's go, bro.